part 3 of our video series into how to use XERT, and today we're taking a deeper dive into actual workouts and how to analyze a workout, and starting to introduce the concept of breakthroughs and something that you've probably come across by now called MPA. Before we get started, I want to recap a little bit on what we've done before and picking up some of the goals in the workout features. Now this time I'm going to use the mobile app rather than the website, because I think the mobile app is probably what you're going to be using more often. So let's bring up my mobile phone and open it up into the Adaptive Training Advisor. You don't get so much detailed advice on the phone, but it's normally enough day to day. And if you just need to grab your phone and get a workout going, you can definitely do that. Now, we need to adjust our goals first of all because of that freshness slider that we talked about, and you can do this from the app. It's not that obvious when you first log in, but right up there at the top next to the XERT logo, there's a little target icon. Let's click into here. And you'll remember from the last video where I was new to XERT, my fitness signature was definitely not correct. It was saying that I was tired, but I was definitely not. I was really, really energetic, and I was really fired up to do a good hard workout and go for a breakthrough. So I put that fitness slider all the way into super fresh. It suggested a hard workout. We went and did that workout, and I'm going to show you what happened and how those breakouts work. But we can't leave our freshness like this. This is something that we just need to change quite often, actually, when you are new to XERT. So, and especially if you do lots of other sports as well. So XERT is designed for a cycling program, worked on a power meter, and if you're a triathlete and you need to integrate running and swimming as well, or if you're integrating strength training, which is a real passion of mine, and we're going to talk a lot about that as we go, you need to start adjusting this freshness feedback. So when you're new to XERT, expect to be making fairly big changes, especially if you only got 1, maybe 2 stars. The changes are going to be quite big. As you use XERT more and you do more cycling specific, you will change this freshness slider less and less, if at all. But so I'm going to pull this back to 0. I think that's probably how I feel today, and everything else can stay the same, and we can click update and let XERT do its thing. And now it's changed the recommended workout for today to much more of an endurance workout. Now I can flick through here, so I don't fancy doing that. I fancy doing something else. So maybe you've done that workout several times already. You can choose something else that's going to do the thing for you. Maybe you've only got 45 minutes to work out and you get, well, that one's 45 minutes. 45 minutes is going to have to do. Let's get in there, get it started. And you can do everything from your phone. If you haven't got a laptop, you can literally get up and go, which is great if you're traveling. Like if you're on the road a little bit, staying in hotel rooms, you can just use your heart rate monitor and connect up to your phone and still get fantastic quality workout. There's not a lot of other training platforms that give you that functionality. Okay, let's flick into XERT and start talking through our workouts. So in the last video, we started talking about sessions. And for those of you who joined me in last night's sessions, that was super cool. Thank you. The YouTube video of it will be available. You can actually do it as a replay and see what went on. I'll try and link it into this video as well. And so you can see what happened in a video where we went for breakthrough. I'd recommend doing it because all the coaches are probably a bit like me. We're constantly talking through the XERT features, what to look for, and you'll learn rapidly while you're riding your bike, which is cool. And you'll also know how to achieve these breakthroughs, which isn't immediately obvious. So here we go. This is today. That was last night's ride that we did, and you can see this big purple line and that sort of stuff. And you can see this sign. This is what we want. This breakthrough sign, and this is a silver breakthrough because over here you can see it's updated 2 of my fitness parameters, and that is my high intensity energy and my functional threshold power. My threshold power. Now I just want to put this into a little bit of perspective, and the eagle-eyed among you have asked me some questions on this, which is super cool. Now this is a workout when I was last really using XERT significantly. Let me just take this away. And this is my fitness signature from June 2001. So 6 months ago, before life took a change. So peak power 1140, high intensity energy 28.9, threshold power 281. These are pretty normal stats for me. And where I am today is this 210. This is after the updates last night. And where I was yesterday in the video, I'm going to put up now. Okay. So I did that intentionally because I wanted to trigger this breakthrough and get these updated stats. And where I am after that breakthrough is at 210, 25.8 and 1090 peak power. And my lower threshold power has been updated as well. And that is now, to me, all starting to make a lot more sense. Yes, I'm still pretty strong. I can put out a decent amount of power compared to my threshold. High intensity energy have always been a pretty highly glycolytic athlete. And so this threshold power I expect to be shooting up. Now, only at 1 stars because doing lots of other different things at the moment. And you can see here the an activity this morning. I'm starting to log my walks as well because this is good quality zone 2 training. I'm going to show you how to do that. Right. Anyway, digress slightly. We were going to get into this workout and show you what the hell happened. So this workout was a little bit of a sweet spot to start with, followed by some harder intervals. So we had a nice little warm up, just gradually bringing the heart rate up. Then we did a whole section of over-unders. The whole point of these over-unders really is to an extended warm up to get ready for the intervals that were coming. So a good bit of sweet spot work, and then a rest, and then we go into these sessions. Now, these were a 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and then 30 seconds, 20 seconds, 10 seconds. And in the session, I was talking you through it, telling you what to look for in your stats, whether you can turn it up a little bit, how you should turn it up, whether you should just turn up the intensity or maybe you should switch into course mode, and giving you advice on how to achieve what's gone on here. And that is trying to achieve my peak performance right at the end of the ride. Because if I went too hard on this first one and achieved my breakthrough here, XERT wouldn't pick up the endurance factor, if you like, about the constant drain on this MPA. So MPA, this purple line. So this is your maximum power available. And the idea of this is that at any time, if you had to launch an absolute max effort, like your life depended on it effort, this is the amount of power that you should be able to expend. Now, as you achieve it, it goes down because there's no way you can hold 1,000 watts indefinitely, 1 second, 2 seconds, and then it's going to decline, and the amount of power you can put out rapidly declines. And that's what you can see here in this purple line, that as I keep trying harder than my threshold power, because I've gone over that threshold, that is the definition of a threshold. I've gone over my threshold, which means that lactate is accumulating and I'm on a downward trajectory, if you like, until failure. And it's measuring constantly how much time I'm spending above that zone and how much power I'm putting out at that zone, and giving me this cool feature of MPA. Now, if I took a rest here, you can see here that I took a rest and my MPA recovered a little bit because it also knows how much I can recover. And then I keep draining. So when we go for a breakthrough, this is essentially what we're trying to do. We're trying to get our MPA below our threshold, because at that point you've gone past that threshold and theoretically you've achieved something that the system didn't think you could achieve. And therefore it goes, yep, fitness breakthrough. Let's update all your fitness metrics and start again. That's the idea. Now, when you get a breakthrough, your workouts will start to compensate as well. So you can't just go, I'm going to increase the volume of my training and I'm going to increase the intensity of them. So what will happen when you get a breakthrough, it'll also knock some of the volume down as well, so that we're not trying to increase volume and intensity at the same time. So it will adjust your training program to say, okay, workouts have now become harder, so therefore we now need to compensate by turning the intensity or the volume down on those workouts so that we still keep a good ramp rate going rather than have a big surge. So super clever. So don't expect to get breakthroughs every ride. When you're first on XERT, you'll probably get them quite often. And if you don't, you should definitely lower all your fitness metrics, do a few rides where you get some breakthroughs and get your fitness signature dialed in. Once your fitness signature is dialed in, you might hit a breakthrough once every few weeks, once every month, when you go through that build, recover phase of your plan. And probably just towards the end of your plan, that's when you should really be hitting those big breakthroughs. So in pre-base and base, don't expect to be hitting breakthroughs. In the build phase and peak phase, definitely should be looking at hitting a few breakthroughs. That's kind of the point, and like polishing off your training ready for your big event. Now, let's just see what difference this has had to some of the advice that it's given me. So here is my training. You can see it's updated this stuff here, and I'm going to come back to that. Let's flip into the planner. Now, just going to start introducing this in this session. We're going to do more info on the planner as we go, but here you can see this is the effect that it's had. And now that I've adjusted my goals down on the app, it's also adjusted it here as well. And the stars have changed color to this orange color, showing that I'm a little bit tired. And I've put in this Saturday club ride because I want to start building out my week and seeing what effect other activities are going to have on my ride. So I've put this Saturday club ride in, and it's saying that I'm still going to be tired, and it's because I'm only a 1-star athlete right now, so I'm going to be constantly showing as tired unless I use that fit freshness slider to compensate. Now, I'm a fairly well-trained athlete that's taken a break, so in actual fact, I can probably put my freshness feedback to probably about here and put it a little bit on the fresh side. And you can now see it's changed those stars to blue, and I'm okay to train again, which is a lot more accurate, to be fair. That's probably a lot more accurate how I feel. Now, let's say I want to train this afternoon. I've got some time. I want to train this afternoon. My training advisor is saying this, that's great. So I can always come in here and pick this workout and do that. But if I want to have a look and go, well, actually, I'm going to do this, I'm going to put that into the plan here, and it suggested a different workout. By pressing this little icon here, it will suggest a workout for you. And this one's actually given me a different workout called Smart Opener 2. Dun, dun, dun. So there we go. Slightly different, but pretty much achieving the same thing. Now, let's say I've got another opportunity to train tomorrow, and it's going to be on the turbo trainer, and I'm going to put in another ride here. And it's given me a ride, but look what it's done to my Saturday ride. It's now saying that if I train on Friday, that I can expect to be tired for this manual activity that I put in on the Saturday. Okay, so it's saying that, yeah, train on a Friday if you want to. You're okay to train, but be aware that when you come to do your Saturday club ride, that you are going to be tired for it. It's really good at giving some good, helpful advice like that. Now, I could go, well, I do want to train. Let's just delete that. And let's click in here and go, well, actually, let's choose a workout that is going to be a little bit different. And we can go, let's change the focus to endurance, and I want to do a workout of about 45 minutes. Let's apply our filters, and it's given me, let's try and find one that you will be able to do at home. There we go, save yourself. This is great, really descriptive. Save yourself. Let's select this 45 XSS. Let's select this one to do. And it's going to say I'm still tired from my club ride, but not as much, and I can update that as we go. So maybe my decision today is, hey, don't train tomorrow. So you can start building out your program like this. Now, I just want to introduce one more thing before I wind up this video, and that is manually inputting a workout. Now, there's a couple of ways to do this. Now, what I did this morning is I walked into work and I recorded that activity on the XERT app. Now, the XERT app only records cycling, and you can click into it here, and it doesn't matter if I change this. I can change this as much as I want, to snowshoeing, and save it, whenever I open it back up again, it's going to default back to cycling because I don't know. So there's a way around this, and what it will happen is when you upload it, it will ask what the XSS is, and you probably won't know. It will look like this. It will say, please enter a valid strain score. Now, this takes a little bit of experience. I should have worn a heart rate monitor on my walk-in, and it would have generated a strain score for me, which would have been really useful. But I know that walking at that sort of pace is about 25 XSS per hour, and I did it for about 30 minutes. So I'm going to put in 15 points of strain, and the focus is going to be totally endurance, and I can click save. Now, that's going to change my training deficit but it's not going to change my training goal here. So the advice I'm going to get is going to start looking slightly different. And you can see that if I just clicked out, click back in again, and it's taken those 15 points off my training deficit, updated my needle, but it's still got my workout goal as 51. So it's still recognizing it as part of my training and my fatigue, but still suggesting workouts on top of that. That will depend on the focus. Now, another good example of this is where I do strength training. Now, I've got these presets set up here. I'm going to show you how to do that in another video, but the barbell strength, for instance, I can now I've got them saved, drag them over to my workout, and if I'm doing a strength training, I've put it in as an XSS that I believe to work for what I'm trying to achieve, and I will also update the freshness slider to compensate for the fatigue in that sort of a session. This takes a bit of experience. It's something that we're going to get into. It's also massively controversial and open up to an awful lot of debate. So my opinion is just my opinion. Other people will have theirs, I'm sure. So we'll leave it at that for now and let you have a play around with those features. Okay, I think that's probably enough for today. So my advice from now is get some more workouts done, get some sessions done, use that freshness slider, keep feeding XERT your data. Remember, any artificial intelligence system of anything is only as good as the data that you can put in it. So get some data in there, keep it clean, and then the more and more data you feed it, the more and more accurate the suggestions will become, and the more and more accurate your fitness signature will become, and the more utility you will find in using XERT. Okay, until the next one, take it easy.